Hello, everyone. Kirk, doobsnax, Dubé, Josh, Zoinks, Hiebert, and this ELO battle back and forth between TTV and Good Morning rages on as they get paired up for the third time in a row. And what are we going to do? We're going to watch them. We're going to use that spectate mode, and we're going to commentate. Yet another change. None for TTV, but Good Morning. If you're keeping me honest here, that's Gek. You mentioned it before, but they're picking up the slow bro this time around. They can't stick on one character. They want to play them all.
Yeah, actually showcasing a little bit that the current meta allows you to play a few different tank options. It's kind of an exciting time to be playing that defender, main tank kind of role. You're able to pick a certain Pokemon for just certain situations. And I think in that last game, Toon was really demonstrating how powerful and dangerous of a threat that Dragonite Hyper Beam is.
Mm-hmm.
Slowbro is a nice adaptation. Let's see if Gek can use it well to actually shut down Toon on the enemy side, or if they're going to come up a little bit short.
Well, this is the rubber match, right? They've each taken one from what we've seen, and they're getting squared off yet again here. Zugrug looked great with the Wigglytuff. You highlighted Goof, and of course Toon that played really, really well in the last game we watched here. So I'm just interested to see, as you mentioned, if the Slowbro is going to be what the difference maker is in this matchup. And of course it's always good to see new Pokemon getting played. And when I say new, you know what I mean. See the less common Pokemon played in these higher level competitive teams.
Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of talk in the community has always been around, do we hate mirror compositions? Do we hate seeing the same team compositions going up against each other all the time? Or do we love it? I've always been on the side of the fence of I actually enjoy seeing these compositions played again and again. I like seeing the mastery shown by the top teams to really prove who's best. But I know that's not everybody's opinion. Seeing a fresh new look and some adaptation is always exciting. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I mean, somebody could say that the flexing of being able to change characters and adjust to your opponents is what true mastery actually looks like. Mastering the game itself, not necessarily just one character. And Gek trying to be that person here for Good Morning as they're picking up their third different Pokemon in the third straight game here. Hyatt already off to a better start than last game, pushing onto that level 4 with that experience share, and I would be surprised if they don't get to that Eldegoss here soon. Lutano getting zapped real quick by the Dragonair and forced to retreat a little bit and saying, Toon, help me out, King, as I go back and grab this berry and grab this Simipour.
Yeah, this Serena has definitely been kind of the flavor of the week for Lutano's top lane. But that Pokemon definitely is not the same as Lucario. Can fill that role, but definitely is not doing the exact same in terms of abilities and situational boons. But this situation always pays dividends when Zugrug is taking those last hits on those enemy jungle camps.
Slash already rotating down was getting chipped away at by Toon, who was a level lower than Slash, but they both retreat back into their jungles to get that going here as we're watching this bottom lane develop a little bit, and still the levels seem to be on point here for TTV, and Good Morning not lagging behind in this game 3, which you love to see because we want to see some good at parity action and some good back and forth as Zugrug is putting the pressure on Gek, who almost gets put to sleep, able to eject button through the wall to get back to their goals and to pick themselves up. Come on, Hyatt, get that level 4, baby. There we go. Eldegoss is finally in the action with Bolby and Gek, and they got to be feeling good to have the Cotton Ball having their back on this one.
Yeah, bot lane is finally fair. Let's go somewhere where it's not fair. Sanji at level 6 to Lutano's unevolved level 5. Lucario going to be wanting to push every advantage they can here and get those dunks to try to boost that attack weight. And not to mention, they have that Dragonair backup at any time they need.
Toon did make the first move down, but now picking up some maybe some mobs in the middle. But you see the Dragonite populate onto the screen there for Slash. They're able to get to the big dragon with them tiny little wings first. And now we're watching this bottom lane as Toon is giving that support to Lutano and holding down this lane, as obviously Lutano has just gone down and still being held off of that higher level Serena here, as all of Good Morning is peeling down first, and Lutano and company being Toon still up top.
Yeah, a huge Good Morning presence here for this Dreadnought. It looks like TTV's actually going to opt into the Rotom, but what an engage by Slash.
Yeah, big Hyper Beam is able to force back all of TTV and give them the positional advantage on the Dreadnought as they're working through it real quick. Gek looking up, and that's a Hyper Beam closing it out on the Dreadnought off the back of the Gek Slowbro little surf that came through and chipped away the TTV squad. And now they're rolling into the goal zone. It's previously untouched, but that's not going to be for another moment or two as all those points are starting to rain in. 79-60. Good morning with the slight scoreboard advantage. We're watching Lutano here finally into that Serena getting their points in, and we're going to get 17 bangers here, leaving 3 onto that top goal zone, as Rotom is going to be the order of the day for both of these teams as we can see those orange pips converge into that top lane.
Yeah, nice setup. Toon, understanding that they would not be there in time for the Dreadnought, opt into stealing Good Morning's jungle. Definitely a consolation prize, but not a bad one. But the consolation prize that Slash wants to pick up is Lutano on a silver platter. Nice nice Hyper Beam KO there, and is going to send a lot of points into that tier 1 goal zone as well.
Yeah, able to get a good amount of points in off that Lutano KO, but that doesn't mean that things aren't being done here in the bottom lane for TTV as they're working through just Goof and Toon bullying a little bit, but Goof getting caught off of the surf by Bulby and Gek there, and now Bulby's putting pressure on Toon, staying far enough back so that Hyper Beam can't gobble him up alive. They are low on HP, but there's the Unite move by Slash onto that top goal zone with the Sanji support as they're going to try and close this thing out, and they do. And now Zugro's going to come in with the sleep trying to support Toon, and that's a well-scouted little endeavor as Bulby goes down, and now Hyatt's like, oh, this isn't a matchup I want to square up against here. Unite move comes down just in case somebody tried to get into the middle there as Gek tried to keep the pressure on, but the pressure was not enough. Zug putting him to sleep, and that's always squaring up a Hyper Beam as Zug and Toon are continually pushing up, and when we see that circle, we know what that means. That's a Unite move as Slash comes crashing back to Earth like a meteor, trying to eat up Zugrug, but just misses.
Yeah, that Hyper Beam just slightly missing as well when Toon hops over on that big ol' launchy trampoline, is able to avoid that ability. Nice work, but Dreadnought spawning up here at 4 minutes 46 seconds, and Sanji and company are already in position to start ripping this Dread.
Great engage by Zugrug with the sleep, gonna send Good Morning scrambling in a whole bunch of different directions, but here we go. Somebody's gonna have to close it out, and there it is. That's Slash using that big Hyper Beam, and we just see Unite moves flying everywhere here as Zugrug going to be the primary indicator of that and able to keep the team up, and they pay for that move as well as Zugrug goes down, but all of Good Morning still up, still pushing, still wanting that goal zone as they have the experience and those shields we're working through. And I just saw you put your hand over your mouth. What'd you see? Zoinks, talk to me.
I can't believe Gek survived that long. I mean, that Pokemon is still alive and showing these Slowbro buffs and why they are so important. Gek being down to 1 HP so many times by that Lutano Unite move, by Goof's just a rain of lightning damage, but able to survive that whole time and ended up giving them a couple of nice KO opportunities.
Sanji soaring in like a bomber there, able to close it out on Toon as they were getting chipped away at. But now Zug gets a payback on Sanji as TTV is getting a little bit of KOs for their own as they're engaging on Gek. And is Gek going to be able to stand up to this? Bulby, Indy, and Zug pressuring here. And that's a Unite move by Slash to break all that nonsense up. And Goof still gets the KO on Gek, but that's a counter KO, of course, on to Goof. And now Slash is saying, I need to get out of here. I've done too much work here. I used my Unite move, Hyper Beam. Can't even take out I thought a Corphish for sure would die to that Hyper Beam. But it turns out its shell's a little stronger than I thought.
Yeah, definitely. Slash doing an amazing job of saving his teammates there by Unite moving from space, it seems, to launch in and land with that buddy barrier for that nice save. Rotom already at half. Good Morning opting in to start ripping super early.
Unite by Lutano onto, I believe that was Bulby here, and now Lutano's going to put the pressure on, not give up this KO too easily as Lutano works through Bulby, closes it out, and of course we just saw Goof take out Gek, and Lutano take out company here as Goof has paid off a little receipt to Slash for that earlier Unite move KO.
Yeah, this Dreadnought spawning right now, and with only 30 seconds left on the clock, this is going to be a really important objective. But right now, at this point in time, 2 members of Good Morning, 2 members of TTV squaring off. Indy Bear thinking about maybe getting a nice little back cap.
Yeah, Zagra going to be the one that's going to use some sleep here. Tried to go for the back cab, was sussed out immediately by Bolby. Chip shot sent back into the grass. As now Sanji takes out, Slash comes in with the support and takes out Lutano here. And this looks like this Dreadnought is going to be for Good Morning, as all of TTV is on other spaces on the map here. And they're going to have to focus in on this Articuno, as all of Good Morning is reeling. And now they're making their way to the middle. A little bit of HP disparities here, as now they're picking off Toon and working through Indy as well. That's a cotton crash to pick up the big dragon, and now they're going to work through, but they're isolated and they're down. Bull be able to take the KO. Unite move by Goof, and it's mayhem into the middle here. Slash going to try and close down the hyper beam, and that fires wide. And now Zug's caught between 3 players, as they're going to get worked on by Gek and Hyatt and Bolby as well. And Sanji dives in, and here comes Indy and Goof with a little bit of support, but they too late to the party. Gek is trying to isolate them out, and Zugrug is already on the back, was going to go for the back cap, come back in for a little bit of support. Gek picks up the telekinesis here, and of course that's another objective closed out by Slash with the hyper beam, and all of Good Morning is going. But look at the back cap action here by Indy and Zug as they're getting their points in. Are they going to be able to stem enough of this bleeding here off the Articuno to win this game?
369 to 670, a gigantic gap, but not an unclosable one if TTV can really send it all the way down to the gates of Good Morning. But not an easy option. They're going to need to stack up, and they're going to need some buddy barriers to find some scores.
Yeah, you see Sanji just being a pest there, staying in that home goal zone, picking up a couple mobs and getting some more points in, really just being a hindrance to the strategy that you just mentioned for TTV. And it doesn't look like they're going to have enough time to group up with enough pockets to close this thing out, as we're watching Goof just sit in that home goal zone. And Toon's going to please just let me pad the stat sheet one more time with a Sanji KO here, as Indy's working it through as well. Hyper Beam finds its home as Sanji sent packing, but I'd much rather get sent packing with 16 seconds left on the clock than lose the game.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And Toon, what are you doing, man? You're cutting off Sanji's clips. Could have had the scored 400 points versus TTV on ladder YouTube video, but not going to be this time around. But wow, Good Morning getting an incredible fight. As soon as Toon goes down in that team fight around Articuno, the switch was flipped for Slash. Immediately moves into that zap hit and starts just smoking the Articuno, knowing that they have the ability to last hit that Pokemon better than anyone else on the side of TTV, with Toon back in the spawn, and they take that advantage all the way to the victory with 698 to 369.
I didn't really quite see the scene before develop, and if you know, please let me know. But when we jumped right into that action there, when the Articuno showed up, I mean, Toon was at 40% HP. You just can't be that Pokemon with that low of HP and expect to be able to last and secure. I don't care how much he was getting babysat by Indy Bear there. I mean, with the Cotton Crash, with the Cotton Guard, doing everything with the buddy barriers, doing everything to try and keep Toon alive, which is the essence of a really good support. Toon just started that little foray with too little HP.
Yeah, honestly, it's just the blaze of glory of Bulby is what I'll call it. Just that Pokemon was throwing out so much damage, and with how often that Unite move is up for Pikachu, and how well played it was from Bulby, that Unite move was finding value constantly. And in that situation, it was putting all of TTV onto low health before the fight even started, forcing TTV to throw out Unite moves right at the beginning of the team fight, just for survival purposes. And when you're acting out of desperation, a team like Good Morning is going to find a ton of holes in your strategy. They were able to exploit and just find an easy way to win. Not only did they immediately get that Articuno rip, but they were also finding KOs in the surrounding areas of the Articuno pit, and were able to take a really well-earned win over TTV in this one.
Absolutely. I mean, we spectated 3 ladder matches. It was 3 matches against the same teams here, TTV versus Good Morning. And I'm quite happy, because that is a round we could literally catch at any one of these major Saturday tournaments. I mean, those are 2 top teams that we got to watch square off here. And in this pseudo best of 3, Good Morning takes it down 2-1 against TTV in this high ELO ranked ladder action. But that being said, tip the cap to Good Morning. We're always ready to see what TTV brings next. On behalf of Unite Mikes, Kirk, doobsnax, Dubé, Josh, Zoinks, Hiebert, we'll catch you next time. All right. Content. Cool.